This episode is sponsored by our good friends over at Heartbeat Mission Incorporated. Heartbeat is an organization that provides creative art support and therapeutic encounters for individuals experiencing mental health challenges. They aim to create an atmosphere where people can express themselves in ways that encourages empathy and cultivates community. Be sure to connect with them online and visit their pages and book your sessions today.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Being Me is Dope podcast, where we have therapeutic conversations to empower creative minds. I'm Nate.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're talking about, actually, I don't know what we're talking about. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, we're talking about our little trip this past weekend, man. We went down, or up, I guess you can say, to New York to the Mental Wealth Expo put on by Charlamagne Tha God and the Mental Health Alliance. Man, it was incredible. I have so many thoughts from that event, and the fact that it was free is phenomenal. Like, the fact that he had this thing be free, and then the level of resources as well as the access to who was there was mind-blowing. And I tip my hats to Charlamagne Tha God because he didn't have to do this. You know what I mean? So the fact that he pulled on his resources to bring this information, this game, and this community together so we can get together as creatives, as black men and women, and really have these conversations about mental health is incredible. That's like really a legacy move for him. But yeah, we had a dope time. We jumped in a truck. We had what did we have? A 2023 Ford something Pathfinder.
It was a Nissan Joe.
Oh, Nissan, yeah, Nissan Pathfinder. I should know that, right? Because me and my wife are trying to buy that. We went down there. We had a couple people with us, and we took this trip, man, just to go out and get the information and the exposure. And it turned out to be an incredible time in New York. We were in Times Square. Of course, it's always packed in Times Square. Super packed for no reason. Like, for no reason. I don't understand. Everybody just like to be out in the lights, but it was right in the heart of Times Square, and like I said, it was an incredible time. The event was, I think from 11 to 4, so it was just game after game after game, and a beautiful experience, man.
Yeah, for sure.
What you think?
I think it was super powerful, empowering, and all of that. I think it was beautiful how the guests that were up there, like G Herbo and them, I didn't expect them to speak about mental health like that.
Me neither.
And
yeah,
the knowledge that I received came the most from G Herbo and like Anthony Hamilton and them.
He's young.
And
He's
it really surprised me.
What is he? 26, 27?
Yeah, I think he's like 26, 27.
He was dropping some.
He was dropping game.
He was dropping game, and he's jumped like quantum leaps in his maturity level. Like, you can tell he's not the average like 26, 27-year-old. This dude has some wisdom with him. So whoever he's around is definitely like lining him up. Yeah, he got the right people with him for sure. But for him to be so in tune at that age, because I remember when I was that age, I'm like, man, I wasn't really tapped in like that. Like, I was all over the place. I was going through a lot. And for me, I didn't really have the language to put to the stuff that I was going through. So for him to be able to be conscious enough, like, yo, all right, I have a child, I'm going through this. I need to be very conscious of this, to the point where he dropped an album, that day or the day before or something like that?
The day before, yeah.
But it was a very, people are saying like it's his most conscious piece of work that he's put out. Like, you can tell he's maturing with his verses and things like that. So his panel was dope, man. It was him, Anthony Hamilton, and Charlamagne for that panel. That was I don't remember the title of that panel, but it was a fire panel for them.
I think it was like something like navigating mental health in the public eye or something like that.
That's a fire title, actually.
Good.
We might distill that title.
Facts.
For a pod episode. that's a fire one right there. So that was good. I know that they had it was like the Black Men Healing panel, which was pretty dope. One of my mentors, Jay Barnett, was on there, as well as my man, and I always mess his name up. I got to know his name, because here's the thing: I keep calling him Sheila's husband from Why Did I Get Married To, and that's not right.
Come on, Troy.
That's not right. He has a name. And it's like, but he was up there dropping wisdom, and then my man from Inception. Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
Inception?
Yeah, Inception. Yeah.
Yeah, man, Inception. And just he was dropping so much game on like the float tanks and thing, but he said something about social media that blew me away. And I shared this with somebody today. He said, because we get on everything about comparison. Like, yeah, I'm always comparing myself. He's like, that's not always true. A lot of us struggle and suffer from opinion fatigue.
Oh yeah.
Like we have so many opinions about so much stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's deep. And he was like, they're talking about the Kanye thing and this thing. He's kind of like, why do I need to have an opinion about this? And like getting back that energy, I ain't gonna lie, he was dropping. I got mad notes from him. I gotta pull him up. He was dropping bars. I was like, wow. He was dropping mad bars.
And I just think his points were super powerful because he came from different perspectives. I know the one thing that I took from him was like focus on what you can control, because the things you can't control will outweigh in your mind the things you can't control. So you will always give more attention to the things that have no effect on you,
Right.
but when you should be focusing on building your mental, health and things. And I was like, that is a beautiful perspective, because the day we live in now, we focused on everybody else. Like, you go on Instagram, you see everybody else's problems, all of that stuff, but we're not even engaging or acknowledging ours.
It's such a simple formula, but it's like stuff be too simple for us to follow sometimes. It's like, nah, I gotta be more than this, bro. It's like, nah, just focus on you.
For real.
It's like that can't be in. Like, come on, give me the real game. I'm trying to give you the game. It's focus on you. And it's like, man, I don't know what he's talking about. And it's like, yo, that's the reality. Like, focus on you, man. And that blessed me, man. Him, as well as I got to meet one of my I call him a long distance mentor. We just actually met in person yesterday, but I quoted him in my last book, Dr. Michael Lindsay, and we got to sit there and talk. He had his little breakout room. They had these breakout rooms, right? They would have like the keynote presentations, and they would have these big, like, the main room presentations, and they had breakout rooms right behind it. And in the breakout rooms, there would be multiple sessions going on all day. So I can't remember the title of the one I went into, but it was more about like youth and mental health or something. So I was like, I'm going here. They got Dr. Michael Lindsay in there from NYU. I'm gonna go see this. And I went in there, and afterwards I just took a minute to talk to him. Like, hey, I'm Nate. I just wanted to say thank you. I met you back in 2019. You probably don't remember. I was telling him about this conference we were at in DC. He's from DC. And then he just like stopped me. He was like, you Nate, right? I was like, yeah, I just said that. I'm Nate. Like in my head, I was thinking like, yeah, I said I'm Nate. He said, one of my colleagues shared your TED Talk with me a few days ago. And I was like, wow, that's like some divine time and stuff right there. Like, that's crazy. Like, he was like, yeah, take my card. He went and followed me on the gram, and we started communicating. I'm just like, man, it was wild. But he shared something as well when he was up on the main panel. He said, if you can't talk about something, it's out of control. Pretty much saying like a situation you haven't healed from or grown from is like, if you can't talk about it, it's out of control. And I was like, sheesh, just talking with my mom and my brothers. I'm like, yo, that's a word right there. Like, we feel like we not at a place to talk about it. It's still out of control. We need to get help for that, man. So much endless game there. So much endless game.
So much. I think the quote that popped in my head earlier was, I think Jay Barnett said it. He said, folks would rather cope than to heal.
Wow. That's
like,
a bar. I can
when
write
he
that
was
one down.
talking
I missed that one.
Because he was talking about like medicine and things like that, how people will like just succumb to getting on these pills or what have you to, suppress whatever they're going through rather than actually dealing with it. And I was
That's
like,
so
that
true,
is
though.
crazy perspective, and like I never thought about it like that.
It's like, why though? Why is that?
I guess it's just easier.
I guess so.
Because I mean, it is hard to face your fears.
Yeah.
It's hard, but
You got a point. That's so true. You rather just cope with it instead of just like embrace it. And that's so. I have like a real practical testimony with the Achilles injury it's almost a year to the day. It'd be Thursday is when I ruptured my Achilles. I think it's October 13th. But I'm thinking about the work so I got hurt, obviously, ruptured my Achilles, but I'm thinking about the work that I had to do through physical therapy. It joint sucked.
oh, for sure.
Like, every time it was just like, this is trash. Like, I'm not. But it's like I committed to like the healing part of it. So it's like I had to do the work.
Right.
And like you're saying, just to reference what you're saying, people rather cope than heal. It's like, yo, to heal, it takes work. And people aren't willing to do the work because the work is painful. You're not going to feel like doing it. It's ugly. You don't know how long it's gonna take. It's like, bro, it takes some time to like really heal and grow, and people aren't willing to do the work. It's easier to cope, man, and that's crazy. I didn't even think about it. That's deep.
Because even like another analogy, when you were talking about your Achilles, people would rather wear the boot than
Oh,
to go to
facts.
physical therapy
Facts.
and actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna just wear the
go
boy
through
Hill
it.
on his own.
And I was like, that is insane. Like,
And it's like, yo, you can actually do the work and like heal. So I didn't have to get surgery.
Yeah.
I don't have to wear the boot no more. I'm almost back to, about 95%, almost 100%. And I still have, slight issues with it, but it's like a million times. Like a year later, I'm able to run when I didn't think I was going to be able to like walk ever again. Like it was that bad. It was just like, yo, I remember rolling around here on like a little scooter joint from my open house. I was on a scooter. I was like, yo, what's up? What happened, bro? I just saw you. It's like, bro, I caught an L playing ball. She did me dirty, and it's like, I'm out the game. But it's like, I was so committed to healing that I'm like, yo, whatever it takes. Whatever you say I got to do, whatever it takes. And I committed to that thing like 2-3 times a week for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I just got tired of even going. I was like, bruh, there were so many days more than not that I didn't want to go. But like I said, I committed to the process of healing. And I'm encouraging people to commit to the process of healing, whatever that looks like for you. Like just commit to the work. It's so much better because coping does just that. It's like it's a Band-Aid. It doesn't heal the wound. It's like it's still going to be there. And it might be worse. You know what I mean? It might be worse because you kind of overlooked it. And one last thing Jay shared, and I shared this with my mom yesterday. I FaceTime my mom. I try to every morning at least. Some days I miss whatever, but on my way to the gym, I usually jump on the FaceTime with her and we just talk. And we were talking about something with therapy and some other stuff. And Jay has said, what you don't conquer, your children will struggle with.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, sheesh, especially with me in the season of expecting, our first child. It's just like, yo, I gotta, all right, what did I heal from? Because I can't just pass this on to him like that inadvertently. Like, I don't want to do him like that. So it's like, I need to figure out what it is. I need to go handle it like today. And that's where I've been. And that was just such a confirming message there. So, man, the conference was all that, man. I'm not even gonna lie. It was so dope. It was something that I probably would have even paid to go to. You know what I mean? And it was so dope. And there was more panels. I think I missed the you were out there for the women's panel. I missed that one.
Yeah, I was out
How was
there.
that one?
That was pretty fire too. We did like a breathing exercise too. I've never done one of those.
Dope.
And it relaxed me like to a state that I've never been relaxed to before.
That's fire.
It was super inspirational too. I'm going to start doing that a little more.
That's dope. I missed the whole exercise. Crazy. I'm in the room. I'm in the room getting game. Missed the whole exercise. You know what's dope though? I'm grateful I went in the room. There was a kid in the room, and they were talking about like kids and like suicide rates or something crazy. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. And he was like, I want to be respectful of the young kid that's in the room as well. And his dad was like, no, he's fine. The kid ended up asking a question at the end, like, hey, how do I help my friends who are like going through mental health issues? And I was like, oh shoot. This kid was like 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, yo, this is what it's all about. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to Charlamagne and the Mental Wealth Alliance. It's like, yo, y'all created something where a 9-year-old can come in and ask a question to get help, to help his friend.
Because it's like they even made it comfortable enough and safe enough for him to come there and want to ask a question.
Right.
And I
Which
think
is
that's so beautiful.
Which is fire to me. It's like, yo, y'all don't understand the ripple effect that you're having, right? Or maybe you do understand, maybe you don't fully understand. I don't know. But it's like, yo, the effect that it's having. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is what it's all about. Because now you guys aren't just changing people in the room. You're impacting people everywhere because we're all going to leave this place and disperse back to our homes, our jobs, all of these different things, our communities, and we're going to take what we learn and apply it. And now you have a 9-year-old who's going to be in his classroom, being able to be a support to his friends. That's next level to me. That's next level. I'm trying to think. Who else was there? My man Wallow, of course.
Oh, yeah, Wallow was there.
Wallow was there. Wallow's funny. Because I come out of my session and I come out there and I just hear Wallow, but he's like standing the whole time. And I'm like, is this supposed to be a panel or is it like my man just up?
Wallow has a different energy.
He has a different energy. And I'm like, yo, bring it. Like, if that's you, I love it. I love for me, I love that he's just raw in him no matter the room.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really even seen bro get dressed up like really like that.
No.
Like he be in sweats, a hoodie or a jacket with his hat on. He might even have headphones on while he up there, like speaking,
Just might.
and that's fire to me. But he went up there and he said something so powerful, man, and it was freeing. I was talking to Elisa about this, who went with us on the trip. He brought up the issue of kind of like touching and molestation within families. And that's a huge issue in so many communities. Like that's a huge, especially where I grew up, it's like that's a huge issue. Right. You know what I mean? I was a part of that. That's a huge issue. And for him to be like, to spotlight that, I can feel people in the room being like, oh, snap. Like, yo, thank you. Thank you for bringing this up. Thank you for bringing this up. Because there's people who are there who I know who have been through that cycle of that. And you've been traumatized because of that, and you haven't been able to release that. And for him to just boldly say it like that, that was powerful, man. I think the lineup of speakers was perfectly orchestrated from the keynote, which we ended up missing the keynote, but you know, they actually put it on YouTube, which is dope. So we were able to catch that with Sarah Jakes Roberts and her husband Touré Roberts, who are just phenomenal pastors, leaders. Their panel, you know, I watched like 3 times already. It was fire. Fire. That whole keynote that they did, fire. Like the stuff that they were talking about and just the wisdom. Touré said something along the lines of like when he thinks about mental wealth, he thinks about developing a discipline to control the narrative that you tell yourself. He was like he was telling everybody, his like transparency moment. You know, I struggle with negative thoughts, which I would say most people do. Yeah. Some people is like way more extreme. You know what I mean? I know for me, I suffer with negative thoughts a lot. And for him, he was like, yo, it's very high, so I have to control the narrative that I'm telling myself. So I have a story that I've already crafted and created that I tell myself all the time. Because he said, and he kind of tied that into like money and being a producer. He was like, you know, say if I'm depressed for 4 days, 5 days, and these negative thoughts are eating away, you know, and it takes me 5 days to get something done that I could have just got done in a 1 day. Now I've missed out on money for the other 4 days because I've allowed the negative thoughts. You know what I mean? I'm just like, dang, that's so true.
Yeah, for real.
You're not saying that you won't have a moment or a time where, you know what I mean, where you just need a mental health day. But he's like, yo, if I allow that to just constantly eat away at me, I'm missing out on days and days and days of income that I can be producing for my family. And I was like, wow. This is like bigger than I even thought. So I was filled, man. I was filled at the event, man. How about you?
I was filled too, man. It just gave me so much knowledge about, and I mean, not even just the knowledge. It just gave me a variety of perspective because all of the panelists were from different backgrounds, from different,
which is dope.
Areas of life, and I think that made it even more beautiful.
Yeah, that's dope because they had therapists, counselors, mental health experts, educators,
even just
influencers, artists, hip hop artists, like R&B artists.
Everybody goes through things, so like it's beautiful to hear it from everybody.
Which is fire to me that it wasn't just a bunch of like doctors and therapists up there, but it's like y'all intertwined them, and I thought that was the most dope thing about it all, man. And just to see, I wasn't expecting that many people, to be honest. Like I was expecting to be a nice room of people because of the names. I wasn't expecting to be that many people.
Definitely a lot of people there.
It was like people was in that joint, like flooded in there and getting the game. I'm talking about it was a lot, but it was a dope time, and I love the way that everybody, you know, the influencers, celebrities, whatever, how they interacted with people as well. Held conversations. I love how Wallow and my man uplifted the one dude who just was home from prison for like 3 months. Fire, bro. Yeah, fire. For him to even be there, it's like, oh, he's trying to make a change in his life. Yeah. For sure. So I know for sure next year when they have it again, I'm trying to go. I'm trying to get BME as dope to be a sponsor in that joint. If we keeping it, hey, if y'all watching this,
Charlemagne.
If you watching this, anybody from the Mental Wealth Alliance, if y'all watching this, holla at us because we try and come out there and set up a booth. We try and come up there and bring some value. We have a bunch within our community, and we would love to bring that to what you're already building. It's phenomenal, and the platform is incredible, and the impact is going to be just generational, and that's what we about. So get with us. BME is dope. Get with us. We trying to make it happen, man, and I know we have some other things coming up soon as well. For BME is dope as well, just to expose more people to what the community is and what we're looking to do as a whole, as a collective, right? I know we have a few things I know we have the next symposium, which is a couple months out, but we're looking at, was it January?
January, yep.
January, and I'm trying to think what else is in between the months.
We'll probably travel to another mental health mental health conference or a symposium too sometime next month or in December. But we will be having a brand shoot too. Details about that coming soon on Instagram. And we want you guys to be a part of the shoot too.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be fire. You know what I mean? If you're a part of the community, we want you to be a part of what we're building as well. Like, because we can't do this without you. You know what I mean? And this is about all of us together. So we would love to have you just be a part of what we're doing with that. And yeah, we would love to have that. So stay tuned definitely for upcoming announcements. Make sure you tap into our social channels at Being Me is Dope. Make sure that you're subscribing and sharing the pod. Go back to past episodes, grab the gems from them, give them to people, and share that out as well. Head over to the website, check out our resources, get you some merch. Yeah, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in the world of Being Me is Dope.
And if you watched or listened to all the podcasts, let us know which one is your favorite.
Oh,
to now.
yeah.
Let us know that back down in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know what your favorite is. I know what my favorite is, but it might not be the same as everybody else. So we want to hear from y'all. What are your favorite? And again, stay tuned. Like I said, we have some major announcements coming up, some dope things happening. And we're just continuing to grow together as a community. You got anything else?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Follow the Instagram right here.
Oh, yeah, definitely follow the gram. Get on there. The numbers are going crazy, actually, for the gram, which is fire.
Oh, yeah, follow us on TikTok, too. I forgot we had a TikTok.
I don't be on TikTok, but yo, follow. Yeah, follow. I got to learn how to use TikTok. It's a lot going on. I'm just like, all right, my brain can't handle it. As soon as you open it, it's just like, blam, video. It's just like, yo, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. I just got here.
TikTok is fast.
I'm like, yo, how do you post a video without having to look at this? It's a lot. So, yeah, tap in with all our social handles, especially our TikTok. Jump on there as well for extremely valuable content. Again, tap into the Instagram, the YouTube. Look, you already know what to do, y'all. Share this content out, and let's continue to grow together. And remember that being you is dope. And with that being said, this has been another episode. I'm Nate.
I'm Mike.
And we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.